and welcome to Reddit on Reddit, the internet's auditory version of Reddit. I'm Nelson Allingham, joined by Michael Campbell.
Hey Nelson, what's up?
Well, Campbell.
What?
Because I always call you Campbell.
You've never called me that in my life.
Yeah, that's right. I did something for you. You may
Okay.
have heard some laughter. Pretty weird.
Yeah.
I have on the show with us Nick and Luck from Picture This.
Hello! Yeah, and this is good because
Sit in silence the next 10 minutes.
See, Nelson isn't as into movies as I am. Mm-hmm. I always try and say things and he just kind of glasses over in the eyes. So it's nice to have fellow movie fans on.
Yes.
So then we can exclude him with all our references that he doesn't
Yeah,
understand.
so we'll make all the references and we'll have glassy eye Nelson in
Exactly.
the corner.
Yeah, that's right. I'll be in the fetal position, like, I don't know what's going on.
Well, you were in the fetal position before we started recording, so it's up to you, mate.
Scene 3 of Forrest Gump.
Hey, am I right?
72 minutes into The Sound of Music? My God.
Well, that's theatre. We wouldn't deal with that nonsense.
Film version of Sound of
we
Music.
don't acknowledge the film version.
Oh man, that was the one film I had watched. This is so annoying. Look, award for best dancing to our intro.
That's
goes
true.
to Nick, I think.
I was possessed.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
It was like I was having a funky exorcism.
Yeah,
And what's nice, because we play the theme before we start, and a lot of the time we just get people looking at us weirdly, because it's a weird theme, we're whispering odd things, but you were really into it, which is nice.
Yeah, well, you know, most exorcisms are like that. It's not my first time. Exorcism is normally loud, a lot of yelling. Latin, actually. I didn't hear, because you were whispering, that could have been Latin for all I
It
know.
was, and
it was.
and we play it in reverse.
And I'm demon free now, so thank you.
yeah. Well, you know,
You just walk around with one of those boards, demon free for how many days?
And now I have to change it back to 0 for that comment.
Well, there was 666 before.
hey, good
I'll show
reference.
myself out.
So, guys, how about you tell us a little bit about your podcast and I don't know how it came about. What's it about?
Well, if you want the exciting backstory, or do you want to know what it's about?
We'll start with what's it about, and then we'll
well-
get the really exciting backstory that I've heard has peaks and troughs, like you wouldn't believe.
I'll let you know, because I don't know the backstory. We do have a rule on this show, like something that we put out to the listeners, is just a warning that anything we say might not be as interesting as we thought.
Oh,
so you're guided by that as well. The listeners know to expect
Can I get that
that
on live?
yeah.
Things we say might be more interesting than we thought. So we take the opposite side.
Ah.
It's a little bit more egocentric.
Okay,
No, but
right, yeah.
It's probably the confidence that people respond to.
Yeah.
We're just
say
not
so.
sure about ourselves.
yeah.
So the pitch of this podcast, world's only first, not really sure, improvised film podcast. We make up a movie just off the back of a couple of random prompts.
Yeah, we've got 3 random prompts that the guests pull out at the top of each episode. One for genre, one for location, one for a word that needs to feature within the film's title. And then using those 3 prompts and the brainpower of Nick, myself, and our guests, we create something original and completely stupid.
No, they're not stupid. They're good movies. We've made some real classics, such as Daddy Spaghetti. That was a great one.
I did
Classic.
listen to Daddy Spaghetti.
Thank
That
you.
was- that was a pretty
Spectacular.
good one.
We get sent pictures of various pastors to on our Instagram page. Which, actually, I realise as I say that, people listening have no idea the context of that. Go listen to Daddy Spaghetti if you want a taste test, and then send us a picture of your favourite pastor.
Yeah, that's right.
I hear rigatoni's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, my mum made a comment about rigatoni at dinner recently, and I was like, Mum, that's a little bit much for you. Let's just relax for a second here. No, that's picture that.
Picture this.
Picture this.
You know that show we've been doing for over a couple of years?
Hey, Nelson, we should start Picture That. We'll be a competing one.
Okay, we'll talk about their episode.
Yeah, you should review our episodes.
Well, we won't name names, but someone has threatened to copyright over our podcast, and we've like, if we have to change things, we'll go to Picture That.
Okay, yeah.
we've got
Unless
it
we've got it. That's
Well,
right.
it's good because we often make claims about this show about being like the biggest or the best Reddit or the longest running Reddit podcast. A lot of times without ever actually looking into that. For a while, we thought we were the longest running Reddit podcast.
Yeah.
And we'd been claiming that for like weeks and weeks and probably months.
The fact that you've been claiming it
And
for
then-
weeks shows me that there's longer time frames than weeks.
Well, yeah, we were claiming it for
Just
ages.
can you believe it? Weeks worth.
And it turned out then we weren't the longest running Reddit podcast.
Yeah.
So we had to wait to catch up because that one had ended.
Oh,
and then we could start claiming it again.
Oh, really? Oh,
So we decided not to look into it anymore.
Yeah,
Nice.
well, plead ignorance. If you're going to court for this,
exactly.
Your Honour, I didn't know I was making these claims.
Exactly.
We're still sentencing you to death. And that seems like an unnecessary court.
That's podcasting law for you.
Yeah.
It's the mean streets.
The Wild West out there.
So on your show, has there been a particular a movie that's come up that's been created that you thought was the best one?
What's your favourite, Locke? Because I know my favourite one. It's a relatively recent one.
You do your one because there's a few of them that I'm going to have to think of.
My personal favourite at the moment is Suspicious Fishes.
Done. Stop there. Stop right there. That's good enough.
Which is a love story crossed with a finding yourself movie, more or less, of a young girl who sets out on a tour of Europe to check out all the fishes across the great lands and finds herself along the way.
Okay.
For me, it would have to be one called Farewell, Fellas.
Really? That's your favourite?
It's not my favourite. It's one of.
It's not like a second episode ever, like third maybe.
No, I just like it. So
It was all downhill from there.
it's a buddy cop film. And the two buddy cops are representatives of Aubrey and Wodonga.
Okay, all right.
That's quite good.
Some niche references
Yeah.
there. That's a fair point.
And then you know how some people have the argument over double acts, like, oh no, you're the Hamish, you're the Andy, you're the Lena, you're the Woodley.
Yeah.
We have the argument of who's the Aubrey and who's the Wodonga.
Well,
Okay,
so
Such a Wodonga argument.
You would say that, you Aubrey.
but
Inherently, I just made that point.
which do you see as the cooler, though?
Look, it's a case-by-case scenario. You take it day by day.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm feeling a more Wodonga vibe,
All right.
but who knows what I feel like tomorrow.
You can align yourself with whichever one.
Yeah.
They are unified by the end of the film. We do end up quoting, because one of the big takeaways is when we make the movies, regardless of how weird they end up being, is the best thing to do, and the most fun to do, is to come up with catchphrases and various like taglines for the movies. Which, despite the fact that we'll never mention the movie's never going to get made, we quote them as if they're from like the most classic.
Yeah.
film of all time.
Yeah.
Like legitimately, as we were walking here from the car park today, I was quoting one of the movies. I can't remember which one it was called, but I was doing the quote. You guts to get to the treasure box, which is so weird.
which is the
We say like it's from a
it was a
movie.
character's token catchphrase, wasn't it?
Yes.
Um,
And it was set in a mall. And
Yeah.
it was about them they had to get to a vault inside like a vintage store that contained like a pound of weed or something.
something like it was like super bad.
It's weird.
Pineapple Express sort of vibe
Yeah.
that we were going for.
I mean, it's a catchy line, though.
Yeah,
Oh, it's
I don't
great,
blame
isn't
you.
it?
Yeah.
You can see it on a T-shirt.
Yeah,
Well, that's the
okay.
thing.
well, that's what we're thinking of doing.
we want to make T-shirts, but
With
we're
all our
aware
catchphrases, but we're aware no one would buy them.
we're the only ones that love them.
Yeah. Although, like, if we make them, I think we've got Mother's Day sorted for the next 20 years.
Oh, Mum would love, as long as it's handmade and comes with love.
Yeah, exactly.
Which might be a quote for a movie.
Write that one down. That's good.
Yeah, that's good. We'll incorporate it when we do your episode. That'll be our line. Alrighty, well, let's get into it. This first Reddit on Reddit I have is, I thought it was appropriate for our show, Cambo. Mm-hmm. This is by Gold Crown
Because it was on Reddit?
Studio.
I mean-
Well, yeah. Well, that also.
I found this one on Twitter.
Yeah. No, we have an affinity here for Monopoly.
Yes.
Noise.
Okay, it's kind of a
The game or just the concept of owning everything?
the concept of owning everything.
Yeah,
obviously, that's the game.
No,
What? That's
Coming
horrible.
from the largest Reddit podcast out there.
We're the Monopoly.
we would talk more about the Parker Brothers board game Monopoly than you'd expect from a comedy podcast about Reddit. It comes up more than you'd think.
So once.
Yeah, like maybe twice. But for some reason, it just stuck with us.
That's
yeah.
fair.
And a lot of people like kind of wrote in and were like, "You're always talking about Monopoly."
Yeah.
So then it was like a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Oh, well, that's good.
So this one was a picture. How good's that for a podcast? And it was a picture of
Picture this.
Monopoly board, and it had extra tracks that you could go on, essentially, while you're going around the board. You went inwards as well.
Okay.
It was very interesting.
So they had the
concept.
squares on the outside, but then there was other squares on the inside of that.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's right.
Interesting. A snakes and ladders situation, if you will.
Yeah, that's right. But you could only go through when you got to a railroad. You could go up.
So you're like changing lanes.
Pretty smart. Exactly.
Yeah.
Changing
In the
lanes.
movie Changing Lanes.
Yeah.
Got him again with another movie he doesn't know.
No, I got it. And it was titled Friendship Killer.
That's a
Yeah, yeah.
That's a fact.
Friendship
yes.
Killer like 2.0 maybe.
Well, so Monopoly is a friendship killer anyway. This is like a friendship annihilator.
Do you know, okay, I have to say, right, this is something that you've all agreed on then is friendship killer. And I've never really had that experience because when I was...
Because I don't have friends.
because, yeah, they weren't there to begin with.
So joke's on
In
you.
your face! I'm so alone.
You can't lose what you don't have.
Yeah. I had a Windows 95 version where I played against a bot. It had to play with me.
And even then it said, oh, my mum said I can't come over and play on the computer anymore.
Yeah,
It was just always illegal operations.
So I wanted to know, because I used to play with my sister a bit when I was younger. I was 5 years younger than her, right? But we never really had that many arguments. It was like a very civilized, oh, you owe me $250.
But the thing you need to know about Nelson's family is they're super wholesome. Your family is so wholesome.
Gross.
You got to get to like a real piece of shit family like everyone else is.
Yeah. All right.
Because when I play Monopoly, I become real like tyrannical. Like I want to own everything. I don't give everyone. Like
Monopoly.
No one gets off easy. Yeah,
I
exactly.
just understood what that means.
Okay. Well, is this then for Monopoly only? Because I have fun playing all games. So I wanna know, we played Catan the other night.
Yes.
Oh,
That-
I've ruined family with that.
yeah?
Well, any game played correctly, you can ruin family and friends.
Twister.
What?
Twister. Well,
Play Twister the right way, you'll never look at that person again.
Well, yeah, it's,
Yeah,
you're
especially if they're family.
Christmas is going to be uncomfortable this year.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, wait. So what?
Oh, Auntie Cheryl, I see you've lost weight.
All right. So what is it then about these games that how have you managed to break friendships with Catan? What takes over?
Well, I think it's the wheeling and dealing side of things. So if I play with my brother, for example's sake, he'll be like, early in the game, because he's gullible, so you take advantage of that.
Yeah,
like, Lock, give me a deal here, I'll look after
His brother's name is also Lachlan, just to preface.
Yes. Like, Lachlan, deal me some wheat, we'll see how we go down the track, and I can be a bit more friendly if you need a deal. And then I'll do him that deal, and then he thinks we've got some sort of trade bargain.
Yeah,
some sort of
yeah.
Next time he needs something, I'm like, you son of a bitch. No.
What an idiot.
Then I smack him in the face. And that's what you get. And then I get a Monopoly in Catan.
Oh, I see.
See, I think my thing is I am just such a liar and a snake when it comes to board games. Like when we were playing, I'd never played Catan before, and we were playing with a guy called Bill, who's from Escape This Podcast.
Yeah.
And he didn't realize that I have an affinity for just telling lies for no reason. And in that game, you trade.
My name's Rocambo.
In that game, you trade.
We're not
a lot,
even recording this
obviously.
podcast.
You laugh, but we did have problems. But in that game, you trade a lot. And they're like, does anyone have any stone? And I'd be like, here's a stone. I'll trade it for you. And he'd almost do it every time. I was like, wait a minute. No, you don't. I'm like, oh, damn it.
Hey, do you know what the worst part is, though? It's that Bill is such a wholesome, nice person that even though you'd say it like, I've got a stone, where it's very obvious that you don't, he's a person that's willing to trust that maybe you do.
Like an early 1900s vaudeville villain. Just, yes, I have a stone, twirling a mustache.
My favorite thing to do in Monopoly, for instance, when someone lands on a property and it has a hotel and they're like, oh, whose is that? I always just go, it's mine. And they'll always almost go to pay me and someone's like, no, that's mine. I'm like, damn it.
All it takes is one person not paying attention, then all of a sudden,
exactly.
you're $200 richer.
So that's the problem with me.
Am I playing that game right?
Yeah, I think so. I think that's how it works.
I once upset one of my mates by playing Cluedo a couple months ago.
Oh, yeah.
Had a few mates over. And
I wish there was no end to that sentence. That was
it.
I swore I'd never play Cluedo.
We started playing Cluedo, and then I murdered him in real life. I really hope you weren't recording that. No, we were hanging out and we decided to play a game, and he had never played Cluedo, and a group of us had said, oh, yeah, let's play Cluedo. So we were teaching him how to play.
Yeah.
And then I won. And he got shitty because they were at my house, and it was my idea to play Cluedo, and then I won.
Right. The setup.
And exactly. That's how we thought it happened. Yeah. And I was like, all right, you deal the cards, because we were playing... Have you played the newer version of Cluedo?
No.
So what they've changed it is, on the dice, the one-sided die is actually a magnifying glass now, and they have clue cards.
Interesting.
So
Okay.
if you roll and you get a magnifying glass, you pull out a clue card and it might say
Park Lane, Mayfair. And then you
red
get-
hand on blue.
I
Bingo.
just imagine your game cupboard is just a higgledy-piggledy of games chucked into other boxes.
It's like, when you can't find the right case for that
Yeah,
game,
yeah.
you just put in the closest one. That's it.
Yeah, that's right.
Um,
I actually really want to play this. I think we should stop recording. Just like hash out what this game could be that incorporates everything.
Every game in existence. So it was like you pull a clue card and it's like, oh, what was that red flash I saw? Whoever's holding the Miss Scarlet card must show everyone.
Yeah.
So whoever's got the Miss Scarlet card must show everyone, and if no one shows it, you know what's in the envelope.
Right.
So that's how you play it a lot quicker.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So we're playing versions with that, and we're playing versions where we're using the real version. Anyway, so I said the second game here, you deal it, and then I'll have no involvement.
Sure.
And I won the second time.
Yeah, yeah.
Humble brag. And he was, and now he's refused to ever play Cluedo again because his first two experience with them, I rigged it.
a heavily underrated game, though. Also, as a side
Yeah.
question that you might know, or you might not, very heavily possible. Cluedo versus Clue. Now, I know they're the same game, but why change the name depending on where you buy the game?
yeah.
I thought
It's-
Clue
it's-
is the American
And
version.
yeah,
I
so
assume
they
so.
call it Clue in America.
Is it a copyright thing? Are they?
I
owned
think
by
it's
different
just you know how in Australia everyone gets like a nickname, they get a vowel at the end of the name.
Yeah.
Nico, Camo, Cluedo.
Yeah, okay. That's not the answer I was expecting. The answer I got.
I think it's that thing where sometimes things are just simplified for the American market. Like Harry Potter famously was the Sorcerer's Stone, not the
They
Philosopher's
don't know.
Stone.
They don't think.
So for them, the
Potter
word
and the
Cluedo isn't really a
Potter
word.
and the Rock.
Which is actually
Yeah, so-
starring
all right.
Dwayne The Rock
Yeah.
Johnson.
All right, let's go through them. So the first one would be Harry Potter and the Rock. Second one is Harry Potter and the Tomb.
And the Room.
And the Room, okay. Harry Potter, third one would be Harry Potter and the Convict. No, Convict
and
is
the
two.
Felon.
And the Felon. What would Goblet of Fire be?
And the Cup.
And the Cup. Okay. Order of the Phoenix.
Firebird.
Deathly Hallows. No, wait, have I missed one? Half-Blood Prince.
Prince Harry.
It's funny because he's not a real royal. And Deathly Hallows then.
Still Deathly Hallows. I understand that one.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah, that's easy enough. Yeah,
They
yeah.
caught
Or
on
the
by
collection
you,
of random stuff.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
so. Harry Potter and tying it all together. Part 1 and 2.
All right. Alrighty. Well, good. At least.
That's how we move on. Well,
Good. Good.
Yeah.
I like to sometimes
you
just
just
encourage.
And sometimes you just declare that we're moving on. You're like, anyway, that's over. Let's move on.
adjourned.
Well, does anybody have anything to add?
No.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
Adjourned.
All right, let's get into Today I Learned then. So now it's time for Today I Learned. Let's play the intro to that. Today I Learned.
That's some quality scatting.
Well, thank you.
Oh, yes. All right, this Today I Learned is by 8 Hairy Legs. Today,
Between us? Or?
mine are smooth. Today I learned that
That's what I learned.
Streamlined podcast.
Today I learned that in Germany there's a festival without bands. There even is a stage, but no one is performing. The idea is to enjoy the atmosphere of a festival without the pressure of having to see all the bands you paid for.
What?
Huh.
So presumably they still play some music
No.
somewhere.
No,
That
Otherwise
would ruin it.
no, don't do that. Ew. I think that
Okay.
they have found the worst part of a festival.
Don't people put up with the crappy crowds and
To
the long
see the
lines?
band.
To see the awesome band.
That's classic German, like they've,
German engineering.
They've taken the wrong part.
I think there was just probably, because there's the festival goers that are like, I'm just going to get high as fuck, and that's going to be my thing.
Yeah.
I think a bunch of them got together and were like, oh, don't you hate all this music when you're super high? Oh yeah, that's right.
It scares
So-
me.
so
exactly, yeah.
So it's people looking for an excuse to get high in public.
Yeah, with a bunch of other
With
people.
a bunch of other people who want to get high in public.
Yeah.
While
but
still
without-
having
without-
crap toilets.
Yeah, and don't want to see a sick laser show.
Yeah, that's right. Or
They might
maybe,
have-
I don't know, they might still have the lasers.
I think that's probably a possibility. At this
That'd be
festival.
really weird if they had the stage all set up with the pyrotechnics
Yeah.
Face
for
the
a
crowd.
show.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
no.
Yeah.
I just imagine there's a sign that says "Insert band here,"
Yeah.
and then they just have all the lighting cues are still there, all the pyrotechnics.
I think you'd get a different demographic then, wouldn't you? Just a bunch of like stage engineers that are like, man, this is really great.
Yeah, that band's not in the way to mess this up.
Did you see that transition?
Look at that crossfade with the lights there.
Yeah, that's right. The red to green. Mwah.
Classic German move. I think, as far as German engineering goes, they've perfected a lot of things. No, this is like the car, for example. I know people enjoy a German car.
Yeah.
And they're just like, well, we perfected the car. What's the other thing that people
What
like?
else can we move on to? Yeah,
Festivals.
They're now going to do cars that don't play music. Like they get
Or don't drive.
And
Don't you hate it when your car gets you from A to B?
just like sitting in there and enjoying the luxury of a Mercedes.
But it's that thing where like the German engineering is known for precision, right?
Yeah.
That's their whole thing. And they're like, you know what really like slows down a festival? All the bands.
Yeah.
They got the riders we have to complete. They go over schedule. Remove the bands from the festival. That's going to be the most efficient festival you can imagine.
Yeah.
But he says that in German.
Nine.
Or he says it in English with a thick German accent. I've seen Hollywood movies. That's why.
No, isn't it in Hollywood movies they just speak in British?
Yeah. Anyone foreign is British.
Anyone foreign is
anyone
British.
historical is British.
Exactly. I was going to say, what if they just, lied about the band that was performing? Tonight only, it's the 27 Club starring Kurt Cobain and Amy Winehouse.
It's actually it's very spiritual, this festival.
Yeah,
man.
sure.
It's like a giant seance.
Okay. Everybody sits there and thinks about what it would sound like.
Yeah, exactly.
Those
And you have to
genres don't mix.
Yeah, and you have to get really high to see it.
Yeah.
And there's that one guy, he hasn't smoked enough, but he's like, I'm feeling it. No, Daryl, you're not.
How much does this festival cost, is my question.
Well, okay, here's something you need to know.
I know
on
you
this
don't know the
podcast,
answer.
I don't click on any of the links. Especially in Today I Learned, I think as a rule of that subreddit, you have to put a link to say where you learned the fact from.
Yeah.
I've never clicked on it once, so I don't know. But let's say $80.
That seems like a fair price to
$80
not enjoy
to sit in
something.
a park with strangers. Ugh.
Yeah, I know. It seems ridiculous. But that is maybe the genius of it. Just some I don't know, guy that was like, you know what? We're spending all this money on the bands. Let's just get all the money from the people going without having the expenditure. I think he just made like a ton more money for the same idea.
What numbers is this festival pulling in, like from a crowd? Are we getting thousands? I'm feeling like
thousands.
Dozens is a good turnout for this thing.
Yeah, that's true. Well, and then I see, ironically for me, if there was only just a few people there, that's when I'd want the bands to be there. Because if I could go to a festival where there's far less people, I would pay more
There's
money.
more people on stage than is in the audience.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. I would pay far more money if that was sort of thing. It's like there's a festival on, it's at the showgrounds, like tons of space. But there's just only like 300 people there, like 6 stages, tons of bands. I would like to go see that.
One stage per person in the crowd.
Ideally. Yeah, that's right. That'd be good. We could start it, guys.
There's no reason. There's no reason we can't.
That's a weird ratio to have on a festival. One stage per attendee.
1 to 1 to 1.
Yeah.
One stage, one crowd, one person.
It'd be very intimate. It'd be good.
Yeah.
But would you have like a time?
The band get up. How are we feeling, Melbourne? Good. How are you? Thanks for asking.
Is there anything you want to hear? Just whatever.
I've never heard you before. I don't know.
This is the stage I was assigned.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, because do you have to have a timer as well? Like, maybe they like sort of shuffle you along after a while.
Hard to say. We'll hopefully.
Or maybe they just have like all the bands on a lazy Susan.
A lazy Yeah, okay.
Surely, I can optimize this. You have the all the stages in a circle and the crowd on a lazy Susan.
I like that.
And then the crowd just turns and you're facing a new stage.
Okay, cool.
That can
This is
work.
good.
Can you still hear from the other stages?
Oh yeah, it's a mess. Oh my god,
Just noise. It's just noise.
Oh, it'd be weird if the roadies fucked up, so the amps were plugged into the wrong stage. So, like, say you've got, I don't know, for example, you've got...
Coldplay playing American Idiot.
Yeah, you got Coldplay on one end and Green Day on the other, but their wires were crossed.
Yeah.
So Chris Martin's at the piano and it's really, solemn and sad. Don't want to be an American idiot.
Okay. Good. I like it. Guys.
Yep. I can count on your ticket sale then.
Yeah, that's it. No, I'm going to be making the money, don't you worry.
Likely story.
All right, here's another one. This is by Shuffling to Glory.
Good. Best way to get there.
Today I learned of the speed camera lottery in Stockholm, Sweden.
Now this just sounds fun.
Drive at or under the speed limit, and you'll be entered into a lottery where the prize fund comes from the fines that speeders pay.
Oh, that's great.
That's so good.
Average speed has been reduced from 32 kilometers an hour to 25 kilometers an hour, a reduction of 22%.
There are no flaws in that plan.
Theoretically.
I can find a flaw, but sorry, what are you saying?
If you're driving one of those German cars that don't actually drive, but yeah.
Theoretically, it sounds like a really great idea because it's fun to win things, of course.
Yeah.
But also, I just don't isn't half the reason why in Australia at the very least we do fine people. The government relies on the revenue from fining.
Yeah, that's
so
right.
It's like, trust me, we're gonna enter you into the raffle. We'll let you know if you win. Wink, wink.
Yeah, that's
Did I
right.
win? No, someone else won this time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm only saying it would work because I work at a pub at /pokies venue. Australians love to bet.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so
that's true.
If that came out, they'd be like, "Fuck yeah, I'm not even driving."
It's gonna fuck up traffic speeds.
Yeah.
That would, nah.
Well, see, I think this is the
It
problem.
would also make Highway Patrol a really boring show. More boring than it already is.
Oh, no, we're still gonna have RBT. They're still gonna be drunk.
Oh,
They're just
yeah,
gonna go
Australians are
10Ks
still going to be
under.
drunk behind the wheel.
See, I'm thinking.
It's our birthright.
But the good thing is, when you're drunk, you do love a bet. It's
Yeah.
the good thing. So even drunk drivers are like, actually, I'm going to win this.
I'm going to get this lottery.
Feeling it.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. I would then any sort of fine you can get, let's put that into a lottery. I think that'd be great. The amount of parking tickets I get is very annoying, and I think I just want a chance to win that back one day.
There was something similar that happened outside of the government a few years ago, which was a company started a subscription service, and it was $5 a month, and they said just avoid paying for any kind of public transport, just ticket fare evade the whole time, and if you get caught, we'll pay your fine.
Yeah.
And they could do it because so many people were subscribed to them. They had this massive money. So on the rare occasion you did get caught,
Yeah.
they were just like, yeah, cool, we'll pay the $200 whatever because you're a member. But they actually got taken to federal court and were demanded to stop.
Well, do you
That's
know
very
what?
clever, Mike.
God,
that's amazing.
A little while ago, my brother did the same sort of thing, but just by himself. He would never pay for a ticket.
Yeah.
And then he would
pay
eventually
his
get
own
caught
fines.
and get fined, and he'd pay it, and he worked out that he'd be like $20 better off after X period of time. But they started upping a lot more of the officers to catch people, so I think it didn't work as well.
Yeah, they changed the fines from $70 on the spot that you could pay, and then you could probably come out ahead at the 70. But then I think they're all $200 ones now.
Yeah, that's
So good luck, worth a shot. I admire the hustle in that though.
Me too.
too.
Yeah, that's right.
On this show we love a loophole.
Yeah.
And they could get it like a loophole, so that's right up our alley.
Yeah. And see, this is what I think is the problem with the speeding lottery, okay? Because I'm thinking, great, this is a lottery where I don't have to pay to enter, but I can effectively increase the prize pool. So, right? Because all I need is other people to speed more.
Right.
So if I'm driving along the road, this is what I'm thinking of doing.
Yeah.
You know when you're driving behind somebody and they're really saying, oh, got to overtake this person. So they go to overtake you, and then you speed up so you're going the same sort of speed, and then they're committed to overtake you.
Yeah.
And if you timed this right near a speed camera, that person, you just slam on the brakes at the last
pull back
second,
a little
bam, they get it.
Clever.
I'm just thinking, I'm moving to Sweden. is what I'm
So
saying.
the problem is that you would then encourage so many other people to
Yeah,
speed.
that's right. I would move to Sweden, and the speeding would just increase dramatically.
Yeah.
We go from negative 22% to 50% higher than what it is.
This strikes me as a move from the Sweden's Board of Immigration to encourage people to move there. So if you've got a gambling problem, come to our country, because just getting from A to B all of a sudden puts you in the pool.
Well, we've
Yeah,
talked
that's
about
right.
the Swedish immigration before. Is there not some rule about annoying people? Is that Sweden?
Yeah, I
Ugh.
think that was Sweden. Yeah, you can't be
annoying and
They
come to the
vet you if
country.
you're
Yeah.
annoying, basically.
Like they actually
How-
do a personality test, and if you're too
What?
irritating, they don't let you in. Or not in, but as a citizen.
Was it a personality test? I don't think it was
I
that.
don't know.
I think it was as broad as we don't let annoying people in.
I think we'd make them do a BuzzFeed quiz. Yeah. We find out which Sex
they
and the City girl they
And
are.
if they complete the quiz,
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. All you need to do is get
yeah.
to the end, and it's
Yeah.
like, oh, I'm sorry, you failed.
we just go through your
But I'm a
internet history.
Samantha.
Go through your internet history, most recent BuzzFeed.
Yeah.
That would be,
Exactly.
that's actually a really great idea as to check who should be let into the country, sorry. Is
Yeah.
to check their internet search history.
I don't think a lot of people would volunteer for that movie.
Exactly. That's how you know if they really want to get in.
That's true.
That's
Yeah.
true. We're already in, so we don't need to worry about it. So you can keep,
So anyone...
keep that incognito tab open, do whatever the hell you want. Right now, though, if you're coming from New Zealand or any other country, if we're letting in refugees who, they probably don't have a search history on them. Let's see that search history, guys.
Okay. I like it. I like the idea.
Thank you.
So
I'm new board of
you're
immigration.
you're running for Prime Minister then?
Is Julia Bishop someone of note? Who's the immigration person?
Julia Bishop?
I don't know about our political system. I'm the new that person.
I can't believe you don't know. God, this is so embarrassing for you.
Egg on your face.
Alrighty, well, that was good. Good, guys.
Okay, good. Good. That was good.
Well,
Bang the gavel.
All right.
Moving on.
Let's move on to shower thoughts.
Shower thoughts, 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 shower thoughts, 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 shower thoughts, 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 shower thoughts, thoughts, thoughts.
This shower thought is by Seb N. Seben.
the shower thought is, what does that name mean?
Well, that's something you discover is a lot of usernames aren't really made to be read aloud.
Yeah. Okay. The Titanic movie is like someone making a romance movie about 9/11 in 100 years.
Yeah, I guess
I'd never really thought about this. I never really thought about...
Well,
technically, it's kind of
there's
about, this whole horrible death, a lot of people dying.
Yes and no. There's something,
Yeah.
I guess, a little more, and this is maybe the wrong word, but like romantic about like a natural tragedy
It's
rather
also-
than
it's also more-
a malicious.
It's more innocent.
Yeah.
Because
There was like a
it's
malicious
not like
force.
the iceberg had a plan to
Exactly.
take
The
Titanic
iceberg
down.
wasn't a member of ISIS or
Or,
Al-Qaeda.
or it was the best terrorist attack anybody has ever known, ever.
It's the classic, that thing where it's like, oh, a man's dead in an apartment, puddle of water, how do you do it? And someone stabbed him with an ice knife. That's the famous, maybe that's what the Titanic is.
Yeah, that's right.
We think that these icebergs, they're melting, but that's just their cover-up.
Yeah.
They're hiding in plain sight. You go to the fridge, you see that ice that you think you put in there, that's the bloody Titanic ice. Don't put that in your drink, because you're going to choke on it.
But I don't know much about what the terrorist landscape was in 1912.
Well, I do, actually. So
Okay,
ask
sweet.
away.
But whoever the big terrorist organization, maybe for years, they were making that iceberg bigger and bigger and putting it right in the path of the Titanic.
Every year, every winter, they grab a snowball, throw it into the lake.
Yeah.
This is the film. This is the film that they should have
Yeah,
made.
okay.
Titanic reference, by the way, a movie reference that you understand.
Yeah, I
Well,
do. Yeah, I know.
okay, history.
That's because
Yeah.
exactly.
But
It was
also-
I watched a documentary on the Titanic. Obviously,
There's a certain level. If it's like the biggest movie of all time,
Yeah.
he's heard of it.
yeah. I mean, okay, now you're starting to paint me in the light. Like, I worked at the cinemas for 10 years.
Yeah.
Okay, I watched some.
Look at me.
Got all
But-
those free posters.
Do you know what I imagine if this film is ever created?
Yeah.
Right,
Titanic?
9/11
No, the 9/11
romance. 9/11 romance story. I think there's going to be one scene that we agree all has to be in there.
Yeah.
Where there's a guy and a girl, they're in love, and
He was
he's
from the
like-
West Tower. She's from
he's-
the East Tower.
That's right. Yeah, there's a bit of controversy there, and he's like, "You go down the fire escape exit." And then that's how it ends, and we're like, well, there was room for both of them to go down the fire escape. I mean, it's a fire escape. Plenty of people can go down at once. I think that's how it's going to end.
I think so. Yeah, you need to have that controversy.
I would like to see that, because it would be fun to just watch the media freak out. They're like, well, there's nothing wrong with it because Titanic's the same, but also
Yeah.
it's 9/11, and we don't like that as
Yeah,
Americans.
yeah, that's right. Yeah,
I'm a big fan of hearing anything 9/11 related, like as to how the media covered it or how people came out and spoke about it afterwards. One of my favorite things about 9/11.
And he has a list. it's tattooed on his back. Bit weird.
One of the most-
Good conversation
in
starting
Arabic.
point, though. Yeah. Hey.
One of the more interesting things is after 9/11, Mark Wahlberg came out and was like, apparently he was supposed to be on the flight of one of the planes,
Yeah.
as was
Yeah.
a lot of people.
Yeah.
A lot
Seth
of-
MacFarlane, the creator of
Yeah.
Family Guy, was meant to be on one
And
as well.
for whatever
but he was
reason-
too hungover to get on, wake up to catch the flight.
Yeah, and a lot of people, they didn't get on that flight. And apparently Wahlberg's like, and if I had been on that flight, would have gone down differently.
Oh,
Like, all right, Mark, let's say you didn't get big till Pain and Gain. You didn't
but also, let's be honest. Yeah, he is Mark Wahlberg from Pain and Game. I still think of him as Mark from Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch.
yeah, okay.
Like what the attack was about to break out, and it's just a good vibration.
But can you imagine this terrorist is overtaking a plane, then from first class you hear, "Hey, stop it, guys! What are you doing?" You know?
Hey, Al Qaeda, what are you doing? It's me, Mark Wahlberg. Have you seen Boogie Nights? I like your beard. I produce Entourage.
Not you. I'm not you. I'm not you. The fighter? Yeah, can't remember. Anyway.
Yeah, I can't remember
Yeah,
either.
Good film.
All right, here's another one. This is by Aurea Kim.
I also just like we used up all our Mark Wahlberg facts in that bit there.
I got more.
Oh,
The Happening.
Do you want to hear another Mark Wahlberg fact? My dad bloody loves him for some reason.
Oh.
Dad, was a big fan of him in Transformers, weirdly enough.
Okay, right.
Yeah.
And then started just Googling Mark Wahlberg, started checking him out on Wikipedia, and Dad's like, he used to be a really bad dude. I'm like, yeah, he should be.
Like racially motivated crime.
Probably, not probably, did kill a guy.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Should be in prison. And Dad's like, bro, I like how he turned himself around. he's
I
come
like how he
good.
made a ton of money and he's doing fine.
If he turned himself around, they wouldn't have those sorts in Hollywood, I tell you that
No.
much.
Yeah.
So yes, Dad's a big Wahlberg fan.
Okay.
Makes a lot more sense that they got Mel Gibson to play his dad in Daddy's Home 2.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
What a fun cast that
Yeah.
was.
Hey, you two are the worst. Maybe you should...
You two should be the worst together.
Two wrongs make a right. Okay, this is by Aurea Kim. I don't know. Anyway,
He's struggling to pronounce the words. I wish if we have a look and it's just like, it says table.
yeah, that's true. You've never seen before.
true.
Okay, if 99% of people find you unattractive, then 75 million people on Earth still find you attractive.
No, that's a good way to look at it.
It's kind of an uplifting thought,
Yeah.
isn't it?
I'm ginger. I need all the help I can get.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Ginger
mean, Ed
colony.
Sheeran is only doing so much for me right now, so...
Yeah, no, that's good. I feel like he's giving your people a good bit of credibility.
Yeah, no, I'll tell him you said that at the meetings.
Is there a ginger, though, if
We have a clubhouse.
if Ed Sheeran is kind of...
Why do you think I asked if we could move the table away from the sun at the beginning of the day?
But if Ed Sheeran is like the white knight doing good for the gingers,
Yeah.
is
Who's
there
the
someone
dark
that's
knight?
doing
The dark.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it'd be Nicole Kidman because she dyed her hair 20 years ago and just won't confess to being ginger.
Yeah.
Are we allowed to start beef on this podcast? 'Cause
Oh, yeah, start all the beef.
Nicole, we're coming for you.
Oh,
Nicole
it's
Kidman,
that-
enemy of the podcast.
yeah, that's right.
Pretty good.
She knows what she did.
We'll give her a chance. Turn it back by in 48 hours.
Yeah.
Right. Otherwise,
Or
they won't
at
come.
least respond in your own Reddit-themed podcast.
If she can just do a sequel to BMX Bandits, I think we'll be fine.
Yeah, I'd be interested in that.
All right. I have another one here.
No, but they do the sequel 40 years from now, so it's just a bunch of nanas with their mobility scooters.
Oh, I'd watch
So
that.
Walker Frame Bandits.
Yes, Zimmer from a Bandits.
Zimmer Frame Bandits.
Yeah.
Yeah, rolls off the tongue.
Yeah.
All right. This one is by Vic. Fuck yeah.
What's Daryl got to say? This one's from Daryl.
Victor Nielsen Dane. Okay, it was three names, but just together. Anyway,
Victor Nielsen Dane.
yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Guinness World Records turned out to be a much smaller part of adulthood than what you thought as a kid.
Well, actually, you know what? Fun fact, I met 2 Guinness World Record holders yesterday.
Really?
Oh,
What was their record?
How many balls could they spin?
Well, I didn't ask them that. They tell me their record, and I'm like, well, that doesn't count because it wasn't ball spinning. I met a lady who owns the world record for, between her and her in a team of 5, the world record for the fastest time, or the most amount of potatoes peeled in 45 minutes.
Wow.
How
many
did they say how
potatoes?
many it was?
And she's just a regular person, you say?
She's just, she was about
I noticed
90.
you have an Avengers Cup there. Are you reckoning this is where Phase 3 is going to go?
I think so.
Yeah.
She did.
When they fight
After
evil
Infi-
Mr. Potato Head.
After Infinity War, they need a new roster. And Potato Lady.
I was more imagining she would have an entourage and a publicist, and she'd be flying around in private jets. She's achieved that in her life.
Well, she's 90-ish.
Potato Carol.
Now, I could be botching numbers because the first number that sprang to mind can't be right.
Go on,
Which was
go on.
266 kilos. But I think that might be the way. Between her and 5, and they had to use knives
maybe.
to peel them.
Knives.
Knives,
Not
yeah.
even a peeler.
No, it was because she showed me the certificate. She was so proud. She brought it down. She's like, "This is for work," and she was like, "This is what I did in relation to potato." This is a weird tangent, but yesterday I did a tribute to a potato festival for work. It was this whole thing, but yeah, she came down and was like, "I'm a bit of potato royalty, actually."
Yeah. I would be like I can do a couple of potatoes in a few minutes, basically, but I'm more afraid of cutting myself with the peeler,
And
which is
Nelson-
really hard to do anyway.
Nelson, this is why you're not in the book.
Well, Locke and
yeah,
I
that's
have
true.
attempted many records, actually, quite
Yes, we
genuinely.
have.
When we started doing community radio together a couple of years ago, and one of the segments we would do every week on our show is we would have a crack at a Guinness World Record.
Okay.
And so some of them varied from doing like the quickest possible way to set up a chessboard through to stacking toilet paper.
Really?
How
Why
many
are
socks
they-
you can put on? Yeah.
Why are there records for some of this stuff? I don't understand.
Because
why-
you need to fill a book every year now.
There's only so many people that can be the fastest man alive. One, actually. It doesn't take up a lot of space to write Usain Bolt a few times.
It depends how big the font is.
Yeah. Okay, wait. So, what was the one that you got the closest with? Or did you beat a world record?
Well, we think we did, but it wasn't recognised.
Right.
So
Okay.
Because there's a whole process, right?
so the boring thing that we think we did set a record for, but wasn't recognised.
I came close to setting the
chessboard
The
thing.
chessboard. I was like 2 seconds shy off it.
We tested him for performance-enhancing drugs, and he was doping. So that's why that wasn't recognised.
I'm not allowed to perform on community radio for some time.
We think that we set a record for the longest live radio broadcast from the backseat of a car.
Oh.
Like, we figured out how to rig up like a radio system to broadcast from there, but like Guinness was like, that's too niche. Even for Guinness.
Oh, really?
Even
Okay.
for Guinness, they're like, nope.
Which I've always thought was the theory, is that if you make it niche enough, you've got a record.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some of the ones we tried was just very niche. Like, how many clothes pegs can you stick on your like ears
Yeah.
in a minute?
That's true.
You also may have broken the CD stacking one, didn't you?
Yes, I did very well. Yeah. We thought so
So what happened was we were the record was how many CDs you could stack on your hand,
on your finger.
on your finger.
So laying the CD flat, not like
Yeah,
threading
yeah.
your finger through the hole, but it's
Yeah.
how many you could stack on that thing. And it was something
And
like
the first source I found, it was about 50, and so we did it, and then Nick easily achieved 50, and I'm like, I'm just going to do another Google search, and I found a second source that said it was about 200 and something. or other.
Okay.
But I think that was through the middle thing. But cause that's the thing, because some of them are so niche, some of they're very vague online.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I might have set that record. Technically, there's proof, but again, it's like, can you be bothered going and checking?
Yeah. I've always wondered whether I've set world records and
I
just
just
don't
not know about it.
That's
You
a
know?
possibility.
Yeah.
Like, I've farted for a long period of time before.
How long?
Could be a record. I reckon like 30 seconds.
That's not healthy.
Yeah, that's right.
Your butthole's not supposed to be open that long.
I had to stuff some stuff back inside.
I had to cork it. I had to wine bottle it.
Yeah, that's right. I started burping.
And then I corked the mouth, and then the ear started bleeding.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think we should move on now to Ask Reddit. Ask Reddit.
Yeah, that theme song, it takes everyone by surprise at how quickly it ends.
All promise, no delivery.
Yeah. Okay. This is by The Low Spark. A lamp genie has given you two choices. One, take $1 million right now, or receive $100 every time you masturbate from now on. Which do you choose and why?
Quick question:
Yeah.
Are there other types of genies that aren't lamp genies?
That was very specific, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've
Because I
only-
was too busy. Can you repeat that? Because I was too busy thinking about that. I didn't hear the options.
Genies.
I'm like,
No,
all genies come from
No.
lamps.
This is now, just for now, has
I mean,
become the question.
I dream of Genie. She sort of came from a vase, but that's
Yeah.
kind of a lamp.
in a bottle. Well, yeah,
She
not
was a bottle?
specifically
Yeah.
a lamp, because there's the I'm a genie in a bottle.
But see-
so maybe there is a slight difference.
But Genie
between-
from Aladdin, he came from a lamp.
yeah,
But
yeah.
see, this is a very apt question because...
Or is it like a
obviously-
gender thing? Do male genies come from lamps and female genies come from bottles?
Possibly.
That's
Because
a good point.
like a lamp is more phallic, isn't it?
Yeah.
But the
You haven't seen my vases.
the reason that this works is obviously, $1 million now or $100 every time you masturbate. But how do you get a genie out? You literally rub it out.
Thank you also for confirming what the options were.
Thank you.
Yes. So yeah,
$1 million now or $100 every time I wank.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just doing some quick math right now. How many hundreds? So 1,000? 1,000 times 100 is a million?
I can tell you, because I did read some comments on this
10,000.
one, that if you do it twice a day for an entire year, every day, $75,000. So you could pretty good wage for a year.
Yeah, that's true.
But no holidays.
Unhealthy.
No holidays, no weekends.
You could do it on hold. Oh, wait.
I'm just saying, this
Assuming
is
you're going
2
into
days
a-
every
like,
day.
but
it
you
means
don't
like,
get a day off.
if this is your job, you can't I'm so sick of masturbating.
And it's like you don't get public holiday rates.
that's
You
right.
pop your suit on in the morning, you go into the office.
You don't get time and a half on a Sunday.
Susan, move my 9 o'clock.
Yeah, that's right. So you think it's too unhealthy? You go blind. Is that
I
what
like
you're
to
thinking?
keep
And
my
also-
masturbation purely recreational.
Yeah, of course. Like,
okay.
you're taking work home with you. Wouldn't it?
See, I see that, but I kind of like the idea that I get another reward after. We get an extra $100.
I just
Wait,
love
so-
a happy
so-
ending.
So does it just appear out of thin air once you complete and fall?
No, you finish the money.
That's what you ejaculate out.
It comes out in quarters.
Not actually Australian currency. So the $100 is probably closer to like $1.25 depending on the exchange rate.
Yeah, that's right.
Look,
I'm going to go to the million.
I'm going to take the million. I'm going to bet it on red.
Yeah. See, I think this is why I'm going to take the masturbating.
Okay.
version.
I think I'm also going to take the masturbating.
Yeah, because I feel like there's a couple of things. One is, I would definitely spend the $1 million way too fast, and
Yeah.
then I've got nothing else for the rest of my life.
You can still beat off.
But I can.
Yeah, but every time
but-
you do it, you'd be like, oh man, I could have.
And there are no rules. It's not like if you wank and you get up to $1 million, it caps there. You could keep going.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Whereas you get the $1 million now,
right,
you're
right.
capped
Sure.
at
Sorry,
Yeah.
that is how I imagined it. Yeah, but you're right.
No.
Because
Keep going.
it didn't say
Right.
Yeah.
it didn't say wank and you get $100 until you reach that $1 million.
Because
And so if you get $75,000 a year masturbating twice a day, it's not going to take. Like it's definitely doable within a lifetime
do
plus
more than
extra.
twice.
well, see,
And I mean,
Oh, yeah, that's
and
right. I
also,
mean, you
again,
can keep
going back to rules, it didn't specify what time we found the genie. Like, if I found the genie now, it'd be
Yeah.
a very different story to when I found the genie when I was 14.
Yeah, that's
Exactly.
right. I would have done it in my 14th year,
Yeah,
getting up to $1 million.
but okay, so the thing is, we're going by the twice a day, every day thing. But you can just store it up and have 1 day a week, which is wank day. And then you've got the rest of the week to yourself.
Yeah, that's right.
Wednesday's wank day.
That's right.
Roughly, you'd want to be knocking out about 14 on the day, though.
It's not. Look,
That's still pretty rough. That's rough to do.
it is rough, but you've got the whole week to yourself.
I was just thinking, like, you know how some people say they count their steps?
Yeah.
You have an odometer, like on your dick.
How many times have you had a pull today?
Yeah.
Jeez.
It also, technically it didn't say to completion as well. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, you can
where,
just sort of
where
get-
what do you judge it as?
Yeah.
Well, you know
okay.
that old saying, it's like, if you shake more than 3 times, you're playing with yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you could just pay a few times a day and do like 1, 2, 3, 4
Yeah.
bucks.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Nice.
Loopholes. I'll take the wanking option now.
Yeah.
Okay. No. I'm sorry. You said if
You locked in the $1 million.
No,
Yeah,
no.
you
I
locked it
made
in.
several hundred on the drive here.
It was very dangerous.
Do you know the other thing I was thinking about is like if you're ever out somewhere and you forgot your wallet? It's like,
Yeah. Oh,
Have you got a bathroom? I just
Not even. You're at the supermarket. You forgot. You're like, where is it? Just 1 second. Don't look at me.
Yeah.
I can't perform when people are looking.
Can I use this hand lotion first? Okay, right.
Maybe that's you know how when you're looking for your wallet, you're tapping yourself down trying to find it. Maybe that's where it came from.
You just
Tap yourself
the
down,
back,
wallet's not there. Tap yourself at the sides, wallet's not there. Tap yourself at the front. Ooh, this is working.
2 at the back to get you hard. 2 at the front to finish the job. That's how easy it is for me. Guys.
Okay. Yeah.
2 in the back to get you hard. 2 at the front to pay by card.
It's good.
Okay, here's another one. All right, this is by Ariza. What name is a really cruel name to pick for your child?
Lachlan.
Okay. Wow, you don't resent your parents at all.
I would disagree. And I'll say this, and again, I'll go self-deprecating. But I would refrain from naming your child Nicholas, because they'll get called Nick, and you don't pick a name that rhymes with dick.
Yeah.
Growing up, that just means that no one has to be creative.
Yeah.
Like, it's just
Yeah.
it's idiotic. So I reckon anything that rhymes with
Which
something
all your childhood bullying, you just critiqued them. And you're like, they're not creative enough. Come on.
What are you doing? You expect to harm me? My parents call me that.
yeah.
Come on, guys.
Well, then Richard's got to be just as bad.
Yeah,
I never understood why. Okay, how did Richard get short for Dick?
Because I think
Richards
there
are
was a
assholes.
Richard once. Yeah, they were like, oh man, we hate you.
I've only
You're a
met
dick."
one Richard, but
Yeah, exactly.
bastard.
I think. Well, let's go away from nicknames and phallic things. What's
Okay.
just a bad name? To
Well,
have?
I always thought it would be kind of funny to name my son like Gary Jr. Like a pretty ordinary name.
But Junior?
But I just know that his whole life, everyone will be like, and your dad is Gary Sr.? And he has to go, no.
That's
I don't know
funny. I like
why
that.
he did that.
I like the
It's
idea.
just-
It's a bit more subtle. Nobody's really going to ask, but when they meet you, they'd be
Yeah.
like, "Oh, hi, Gary. Nice to meet you." Like,
Or
no.
you could be really tricky and be like Gary the Third.
Yeah, exactly. But it's just a small thing that I know will just annoy my son a little every now and then.
That's
Okay.
good. I've often thought about naming my child Nicholas Jr. purely for the fact that then if he does it eventually to his kid or some other kid, then they can be Nicholas Van the Third. And I think that'd just be fun to be the third of something.
Yeah.
It sounds-
That's
it
a
sounds
very
regal.
fancy name.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
That's
sounds
true.
cool. And it's it's a long process to get there.
Yeah.
Because you've got to ruin a couple of generations.
But it's a real good payoff.
Yeah.
Once you
That
do.
one kid that gets a okay name that my great grandfather thought was that be pretty aces.
How about the Johnny Cash song, A Boy Named
Boy
Sue?
Named Sue, yeah.
So I mean that
Sue's
could
not
be.
great.
It's not great if you're a guy and you get a
Oh.
female's name.
I had a friend who worked at a kindergarten or a childcare, and because they're dealing with younger kids, they're getting to see the new generation of crap
Yeah.
names coming. And one of them was called the kid was called M, and they're like, oh, M, short for Emma, that makes sense. No, just the letter M.
Yeah, that's the worst.
Weird.
The real hippie ones, like
my mum works at a kindergarten. She got a Tinkerbell a few years ago.
No, she didn't.
what?
That's what.
oh my god,
Fuck that parent.
Yeah, that's
Report
bad.
them to
Child
DHS.
services, yep.
God
Yeah.
damn.
It's like or like Rainbow or something. That'd be annoying. Or how about Michael Jackson has Blanket?
Blanket.
That's
Don't be
terrible.
named after a thing.
Chris Martin and Gwyneth Paltrow have Apple.
Yeah.
I feel bad for Blanket because isn't Michael Jackson's daughter named like Paris or something?
Yeah, it is,
Yeah,
yeah.
I think so.
And I don't know what the other child's name is, but I'm pretty sure that's
Gary Jr.
I reckon he just has, because there's Paris and there's Blanket.
Yeah.
I reckon somewhere in his house he has a blanket with the Eiffel Tower. And whenever someone's being born, it's like Paris. So, yep, yeah, cool. Oh, I've used that one. Blanket.
So what would the third name be in that scenario?
Cotton.
100% flammable.
And number 4 is machine washer.
Yeah.
But the worst one I've heard is Jason Lee from My Name is Earl.
Yeah.
And all the old Kevin Smith films. His son is called Pilot Inspector.
Do you know? Actually, I had a friend, family friend, who changed her first name to Lady, and then her middle name was her real name, Amanda. And so then, when she gets on a plane, they think that she is a lady, and they're more likely to upgrade it because if they have spare seats in first class or whatever, they go through a list and just sort of if there's like a doctor or something, they'll put them in.
So there's Lady Amanda, whatever.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Okay, that's clever. There was this scam that.
But
used to
is
run.
she flying frequent enough to use it?
You know what? I think even if I had it once, I'd be fine with that. Like, because everybody else would just call me Nelson.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
like, my technical legal name is Sir. I reckon that'd be fine.
Yeah.
With there's a scam that used to get run online where you could buy a plot of land in certain parts of Scotland.
Oh, I've done it.
Which would make you, according to the website, a lord.
Yep.
Not the case. Not how it works at all.
Yeah.
So you'd be familiar. The way that you become a lord is the site says, all right, so you've got your plot of land. It costs you however much. Now, if you want to actually change your name to get the lordship, here's what you do. It gives you a step-by-step guide. And as long as you're following it step-by-step and don't look at the grand scheme of things, you legally change your first name to Lord whatever. And they're like, at the end of it, you are technically a lord.
Yeah.
although you just changed your name, and it's a big scam. A lot of people fell for it.
Okay.
Yeah. So I actually do this when I don't have a gift. I think it's a funny gift because it's like $50. It's nothing crazy. So I keep buying my family lordships in Scotland. My dad loves it. He's so happy. And like you can be like, like this doesn't hold up. He's like, yeah, but I've got that because they send you like a plaque. It's like I've got the plaque. I can show people the plaque, and he does. Like every time someone comes over, he's like, look at that.
Yeah, they're going to see the plaque, and they're not going to ask for further confirmation.
Yeah.
You can buy the equivalency of that, but space on the moon.
Yeah, there's like
Yeah,
1
I've heard
acre
about
properties,
that,
right?
yeah.
And that you could almost probably argue that more, like if we ever get up there, you could probably argue in a more legal sense that you own that land because it's by like some part of some like subsect of NASA that does it. So at the moment, it's done for like crowdfunding and stuff.
Yeah.
But if it ever got to the point, you'd be like, well, I bought it from them under the impression that was the case.
Yeah.
They're just hoping that no one ever like calls them on
That's
it.
next Christmas. Dad is the Lord of the Moon.
Oh, that's good.
You'll notice they haven't started selling plots of Mars yet. You know, that's when because they're like, oh, we might actually make it there. Let's not sell anything like that.
No, that one guy, Elon Musk, he brought up a lot of it.
Yeah, that's right. Alrighty, let's move on. So now we've got our question of the week. We're up to question 19 of a shitty set of questions.
Yeah, so a little bit of context. We did a series of 36 questions that was designed by some kind of a science or a college or something like that.
Some kind of a science.
Some kind of a science.
Astrology.
Which we have now
may as well
we
be.
now worked out as like a Californian college.
Yeah.
But these series
In
of
Santa
36
Cruz.
questions, if you answer them with a partner, will make you fall in love. Or we'll show you if you're
I've
compatible
heard
with
about
it.
this, yeah.
So we did it with the listeners to make them fall in love with us.
Yep.
That's obviously happened.
Yep.
Now we're freaked out and we just want them to be friends with us. So we're doing
We need
another
those.
set of 36.
In the
that's-
same study, there was one just to get people to like you. We're up to question 19, so we're just over halfway. This one sucks like the past 18. What did you do this summer?
I don't know. This, I guess. We did this podcast.
Didn't leave this room.
That's yeah.
Jeez.
Okay, let's change it to: did anybody do anything interesting this summer?
We were planning for because we did a live show of our podcast,
Yes.
which is at the comedy festival. So most of the summer was taken up with planning and organising that.
That's pretty cool, though.
That was enjoyable. It was a
good.
fun time.
That was all right. I'm just so bad with time because I honestly thought we went to Vietnam and Cambodia. I thought was last summer. Turns out no, that was a couple summers ago. Wasn't it?
almost 3 years ago.
Almost 3 years ago.
Well, I think the same.
Time's a fickle bitch.
Yeah, I think the same when Cambo and I and our friend Eden, we did a road trip from Perth to Melbourne across
grouse.
the Nullarbor. It was really awesome. And that always seems not that long ago,
Yeah.
but it's been, about 2
That's
years
what
It's
we
ago.
always
did.
heartbreaking when you get that Facebook memory.
Yeah,
And you're
that's
like,
right.
What?
Yeah. So I guess this question's a bit depressing. It's like, well, I've had really great summers, just not the last one. Last summer I was depressed. and
Last
thought about-
last summer I was wanking and earning $100 No, that didn't happen.
didn't
This,
even do that.
this summer just gone to the first summer that I've had a full-time job that I've had to go to every day. And it was, I don't know, it was sad. I was just working.
Yeah. I didn't go. I feel like
I didn't go to my job this summer.
I didn't go to my job. Actually, that's probably true. Oh no, not necessarily. I got made redundant, so there was probably a period of time where I didn't go to my job during the summer. Wasn't my job anymore though. But I always judge my summers as whether they've been successful or not, depending on if I've gone to the beach. So I feel like that's a summer thing.
Okay.
You know.
My summer was very bad then.
Yeah, I don't think I went to the
But my
beach last
winter.
summer. Yeah, that's
But
right.
okay, so
During
maybe
the polar bears.
maybe there's some validity to these questions, right? Then, because we've all said, "Oh, we had kind of depressing summers," but that's made us bond. But if one of us was like, "I had an amazing summer. I went to Europe. Everyone would be like, fuck this guy."
Fuck them.
Okay.
My grandma died, you piece of shit.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, you're right. It worked. Solid questions of liking people. All right, let's move on then. This next part is the AMA, where listeners of the show, just like you, listener, can write in and ask us anything you want. We've got 2 this week, because we have 2 every week. I don't know why I say that sometimes.
I got one here from Ben. Said, "Hey guys,
I knew you were going to do that one.
What is the last photo?" Yeah, the other one's quite long. Hey guys, what is the last photo you took? I can check on my phone.
That is
I'm
true.
going to do that as well. Because
Here we go. I took a photo of a Han Solo and Chewbacca cosplayer
Oh,
at
nice.
a drive-in cinema food truck event.
Okay, that's actually
Interesting.
pretty good cosplay.
You're welcome. We've gone to the bag to get the phone. What do you got, Nelson?
Okay, this is what I got. The last thing that I did was it was a photo of a package of peas.
Those are delicious, though.
I know, right? Because I was talking to a friend, and she said she had been eating them, and I just actually I wanted to get some pretzels, and these were on top, and I was like, you know what, I'll try these. But I was like, I'll just double check it's the right one. So I sent her the photo. And,
what is this pea that is better than the
It's
average
like
pea?
It's like chips.
It's like a chip, but it's like a dried snap pea. It's very nice. They're supposedly less fat than a regular chip, though you eat the entire packet when you eat them. So
Yeah, that's right.
I don't buy that.
Interesting. What about you? What's the last photo you got?
What do you got, Locke?
I've got
a great one.
Last weekend, I was out. I was on a night out, and I went to the bathroom at one of the places I went.
I don't like where this is headed.
And I laid a footer.
And I was at the and I had to do it very subtly. I was in a cubicle, and I looked up. I was standing.
Yeah.
And I looked up, and there was a small sticker on the wall at eye level,
Yeah.
which I took a photo of and sent it to Nick because I thought it'd be great advertising for us. The sticker was, "I'm aware of this comedy podcast," and I'll give them a shout out. The Little Dum Dum Club.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, it's just a little promotion that they put in
cubicles.
toilets and cubicle stalls, eye level, so people see it. And I was
That's
like,
brilliant.
I thought that's a smart
Clever.
idea.
Okay.
Yeah,
we
we're
should.
talking about it.
Yeah.
My photo is I made a crown out of potatoes.
That is awesome.
So backstory.
No
You're really
need-
on a
no need to
potato
explain.
thing, aren't you?
Oh, that's fine. That's fine. No worries. All good.
Okay.
So for during the week when I'm not doing the podcast, picture this, I do Brekkie Radio in a station called Hit Gippsland out in the southeast of Victoria. And yesterday we did a tribute to this old potato festival that used to get run out there. And so I said, you know what I'm going to do? Because these people are like royalty, I'll make crowns out of potato for them. So I got a whole sack of potatoes, I got some wire, and I bent them and I threaded them through and I made crowns. And they were heavy and disgusting. And I gave them to listeners on the day.
That's awesome. I'm kind of disappointed that I don't have a potato crown, if I'm going to be honest with you now.
If we were to wanting to make our own potato crowns, how would the process go?
I'd recommend getting some potatoes from Red Gem Packers and Growers. They're your favourite potato distributors in the southeast of Victoria. Head on down to Bunnings, grab yourselves a wire of 0.75 mm in thickness. Make sure you grab yourself some wire cutters as well for those hard-to-reach wires.
And a
cutting.
snag if you're down at Bunnings.
And a snag. Well, if you go during the week, there's no snags, you idiot. Thread them, hook them, figure it out. My hands are sore because there's little cuts everywhere from the wire and from the snips that I bought to do it.
Okay.
Again, I just zoned out for a moment because I remembered it's Saturday. So on the drive home, do you want to go to Bunnings and get a snag?
Yeah, we could definitely do that.
Could lock it in. Do you know, I was just going through some of my other photos that I have, and I realized my life is really depressing because I don't take any. I've got
selfies of you crying.
I've got like 6 photos of sets of keys because that's what I do in my job. And then one I thought is pretty funny is I have a photo of I was playing the video game God of War, and there was like a set of symbols on the screen, and I needed to remember them, so I took a photo of that. It's like this is my life.
So you've got photos of video game screens, some keys, and a pack of peas.
Yeah,
That's
it.
pretty good, Nelson.
It sums me up pretty well, I say. Alrighty. Should we do the next question?
Yes.
Okay. This question is by Amanda. She said,
Lady Amanda?
Lady Amanda.
Well, we don't
no,
want
not
to
the same.
assume.
Not the same Amanda I was talking about. Hi guys, I really enjoyed Cousin Rowan's visit in your last episode. It was fun being able to put a voice to those questions. This week I have a question for you. You're at death's door. Boo. But 21st century medical science can save you. Yay! You just need to have a full body transplant because everything but your brain was really messed up in that thing that happened. But we have the technology, so yay! Only thing is, we've only got female 3D printed blanks to transplant you into. Boo. No, she didn't say that. I was just joking.
I was going to say, Amanda, you paint a wonderful word picture.
She says, don't even know. Okay, for some reason it's only females. So anyway, we don't want you to die an early death. So
That's nice.
into a female body you go. There are lots to choose from. What kind of woman do you want to be? Take care.
Wait, are we picking a pre-existing one, or this is just a...
Oh, we're building our own woman. Is this The Sims?
This sounds like a dangerous game.
It does.
Yeah, it sounds like a dangerous game for 4 white men to be talking about.
I think
I'm honestly not that picky.
The least
Just
ethnically
whatever.
diverse group that's ever existed.
yeah, that's right. I'm like, do I say a white person? Do I say a black person? I don't know. It's
I'm gonna
too
pick
controversial.
Ethnically ambiguous.
Yeah. Okay, that's good. Yeah, you're just kind of, I don't know, mix of everything. That's good.
This really just feels really like not a good idea.
Yeah.
Walking online.
A healthy
Look,
person.
my
A
only
healthy, happy
prerequisite.
person with good childbirthing hips.
My only prerequisite.
Okay, all right. Well, you're going. That's actually an interesting point.
And
You're
an
just
ass is
like,
on
you know
quit.
what? I've never been able to have kids anymore. Now I want to be able to
Well,
have
if I'm
kids.
given the
That's good.
opportunity, why not?
Just know,
It
Amanda.
sounds, from what I've heard, doesn't sound like a fun time.
I've heard it's fine.
Amanda.
I know that from men, though. So.
Reviews are mixed.
Other guys, I say,
Four
hey,
star-
how was the pregnancy? They're like, yeah, it's all right.
I watch TV for most of it. Yeah.
Reviews are mixed. 4 stars on Yelp.
But, Amanda, just know that your one question made 4 men tremble.
Part of work, they ask me, because it's like, you got to look after your public image and stuff. They're
Sure.
like, don't say things on the show that could anger your key demographic. My key demographic is women aged 25 to 35. So much like on the show, I will refrain from answering.
Yeah, that's right. I feel like we actually insult like so many demographics of people that we just cover everyone. Really,
Yeah.
at
So
some
we
point or
insult-
another,
I hate
in our-
everyone
in our
equally.
show. Yeah,
Look, my only prerequisite, honestly, would be some kind of like physically fit would be really good.
yeah. I think, if anything, on the skinnier side, so that I can eat more. You know,
Okay.
and then still kind of have a fit sort of body.
I would like to be.
Well, let's just change it that you can be a guy, but like, what body do you then want to? What do you want your body to look like?
Well, this is fine for the female or the male version of
Okay.
it. I would still like to be the same height I am now, or maybe taller, because
Oh, then you can dunk in the WNBA.
maybe
That's it. Ideal body type for if I'm a
female
woman.
basketballer.
I want to be 8 feet tall,
Yeah,
built like an absolute brick wall,
Yeah.
so I can dunk, and then when I retire from the NBA, join the UFC.
Well, because I only say that because the pub I work at, all the females I work with, they're under 5'4". So it's always, Lachlan, do you mind getting something from the top shelf for me?
Yeah,
Which I have
okay.
no problem doing.
Yeah.
I just don't like having to rely on anyone.
yeah, that's true.
Is there a nationality that has? Because I feel like at least the women in my life right now, they're all shorter than me. I don't know any. Admittedly, I'm about 6'2", so I'm on the higher end of the spectrum. But is there a nationality that produces, on average, a higher breed of men and women? Or is that just is it like a dice roll when you get born? Like it's a genetic game?
I don't know.
I think there would be probably.
All right, let us know right now.
Should we post that on Reddit?
We'll ask her.
Which race is best?
Oh, no. If you're listening. We were talking about German efficiency earlier. If you're listening right now, let us know on any form of social media if there is a nationality that produces better height. Height.
If there's a nationality that produces, on average, taller people.
Yeah,
We'd love to.
On average, taller than what? 5 foot.
If the average is over, I don't know, average over 6.
Okay, average over 6 foot.
I think that there wouldn't be a nationality like that, but alternatively,
that might be too heavy. Yeah,
Right,
but there'll be something that would just be above, like
Yeah, or there would
Or
be someone who just
consistently above.
meets average, or
Yes.
just under.
let us know, tall people.
Yeah.
They interest me.
Yeah, okay. And we'll be one of them.
Tall
I guess.
people, you're kind, fascinating.
And I'll be able to dunk over them when I get this new body of mine.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, cool. Well, that's it for another show. Thanks for listening. Thanks for coming on the show, guys.
No, thank you so much for having us.
Appreciate it.
Should we address this absolute sweat box you've got us recording in? It's
Yeah,
just
yeah.
like,
That's
we're in a
it.
solarium right now.
Yeah, yeah. It's how we lose weight. We don't work out. We just sweat it all out.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah.
It's the podcast workout.
Yeah.
Podcast workout. 7 episodes, you'll be slimmer and fitter than that.
Yeah.
You mean 7 weeks? No.
Right, so that's it. If you would please subscribe and rate us on iTunes or wherever you get your podcasts, that'd be awesome.
They're asking us specifically. Guys, relax.
Guys, well, I mean, seriously,
desperate.
get out your phones now. We need the extra 2 people.
Put the gun down.
Oh, he's still locked.
Nelson, if people wanted to let us know if there is nationality that is on average taller, where would they do that?
Well, they can do it at Reddit Podcast, READIT Podcast, at gmail.com, at Facebook, at Twitter, and our subreddit. It's all READIT Podcast.
It'd be funny, just as a side note, sorry, if you didn't have a Reddit, like a subreddit for the show.
We didn't for ages.
Right.
In
So
fact,
funny.
it took until we got a famous Redditor on our podcast called PM Me Your Tits Girl. And
So let me just get my head around a famous Redditor.
yeah. Well,
And his name-
self-proclaimed famous Redditor, I
Upvote
think.
me to come a heaven, baby.
Yeah.
His name is exactly what you think his subreddit is.
Yeah. And so he said to us, he's like, oh, you should really get your subreddit. And he's like, you should get it now before anybody steals it. Oh, but actually it's illegal for people to steal now. Oh, it's against the rules, rather of Reddit. I was like, oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I suppose we should, but I barely posted it. It's kind of ridiculous. But also you should, subscribe and listen to the Picture This podcast with Luck and Nick.
Do it. Just if you take one piece of advice away from the show, it's don't discriminate against height, race,
Yeah.
and
that's the message.
subscribe. You'd enjoy our show. It's weird.
Yeah. You
fun.
managed to find this show. I'm sure you can find our show somewhat close to it.
Yes,
Yeah.
we're on. Look, Picture This podcast on all the socials across the way, and on most good podcasting platforms.
You on any bad ones?
A couple.
Yeah.
We're
Where like porn ads come up.
Yeah.
we're on. Yeah, you can find us on Pornhub.
Well, porn ads halfway through the episode.
Yeah.
An audio episode.
The porn-up video is us listening to the episode while we beat off, and then we ejaculate $100.
I just thought about that because I find it fascinating. That makes strip clubs a hell of a lot more interesting to make it rain.
yeah, that's true.
So I guaranteed money, but you shouldn't probably do that. So it's like,
Yeah, that's right.
which is the less.
Like, you want this $100 or not?
And also, it would be the ultimate compliment for a stripper.
Yeah. But, yeah.
Money.
Money is the ultimate compliment. You're right.
On that note.
All right. Well, thanks for listening. We will read you later.
It's